Hey guys, first Regardsman here, and I'll be talking about the August community update for Space Marine 2. Now, this came out around 2 minutes ago. This has stuff for the new upcoming patch 15, Chaos Siege mode, and One-Hand Thunderhammer, and also a brand new mode called the Crucible mode. So we'll be going into all of that here, starting off with Hello Space Marines. You know the drill now. The end of the month means new info about Space Marine 2. Let us reveal some of the content of patch 15, the community event, and a few words about modding. So patch 15. We're working on patch 15, making sure everything is ready before it reaches your hands. The wait won't be much longer. Patch 15 is coming very soon, so stay tuned. In the meantime, let's dive into some of the content coming with this update. Number 1, Chaos Siege mode. As you know, Chaos Siege mode is coming with patch 15, bringing a new challenge to the game. In this mode, you'll play with Chaos Space Marines on a brand new siege map located on Avarax. Yeah, we had leaks for this, so that definitely makes sense. And Avarax, for those of you who are unaware, this is the Hive City we played on, so this is probably post-campaign. Next, they say you will face Tyranids and Loyalist waves, receive the support of Chaos Cultists and Ritualists, and you'll be able to deploy a Hellbrood to wreak havoc on the battlefield. Okay, so you might not actually be fighting the Chaos Thousand Suns at all here. I mean, they were in the data mines. I imagine they'll probably be around, but if you aren't fighting them, that would explain why the Hellbrood's on your team. It'll probably like the Thousand Sun skin there, so we'll see what they do with that. But here we have some images where like this is the new map, and then there's also a Night Lord skin. This is obviously a skin just straight from the PvP here, and some Tyranid waves. So this stuff looks pretty cool, and it has this Chaos Chain Sword. Now, I also want to mention that Focus did say you will be very likely able to just use the heroic weapons. However, I don't think they'll be receiving new skins, but we'll see what they do with that later. Next up, we have the One-Handed Thunderhammer. We're adding the One-Handed Thunderhammer, a fast weapon that can transition between single target and area attacks, available for the Tactical, Assault, Bulwark, and Tech Marine classes. Okay, so Tech Marine is getting a One-Hand Thunderhammer. That's a pretty big shock to me, but Tactical getting this, I mean, this is the first new weapon to Tactical in ages for his melee slot. Way back in like patch 7, they gave him a combat knife, but this time around, I mean, this one has CDR on it, which means you can actually have a cooldown reduction on your Auspex scan potentially, and also things like the Bulwark banner, and of course the servo gun, and also your ground pound. So this weapon can be very strong, and I'm actually very curious to see what we see with this one as we get further into the update cycle. Now, next up, Crucible mode. The Crucible awaits, brother. Will you submit to the test? A new game mode will also be added, the Crucible mode. Talk to our beloved chapter chaplain to set up your penance before going to an operation. Penances are personal debuffs that will make your mission even harder, and they will grant you purity XP if you succeed the operation, which will let you unlock unique customization items and armor parts. So this is where the Lamenter pack is actually coming from. This might not even be like a proper cosmetic pack you have to pay for and just unlock through game, which makes sense since Lamenters are known for dying, and a penance is a huge thing for a personal debuff. Next they have each penance has a tier, each with its own set of unique challenges and rewards. The more debuffs you pick, the more XP you get, but the harder the challenge, so choose wisely. Since Crucible is designed to be an endgame challenge, your class must be level 25 to participate. Okay, so this is like some of the first truly level gated content we've ever had in Space Marine 2, and this also moves the endgame challenge of the way of the entire game away from just the heroic options, because at the moment the accolades grind, that is the endgame challenge for Space Marine 2, and we also had some leaks for this previously, but I'm curious to see what kind of customization we'll have for this. And if it's purely cosmetic, I think that's a great idea, because something Space Marine 2 has been missing for a while at this point is a proper, you know, endgame unlock for cosmetics for like super dedicated and die-hard players, and having some like crazy armor set that's only unlockable through like, you know, rubbing your balls across sandpaper. That sounds like a pretty cool option for the game, and we've seen that stuff in the past like Halo Reach and stuff like that. It was pretty popular there, so I think this is a great thing. But let me know what you guys think about this new mode in the comments section below. Now, next we have the Tactical perk tree rework. We have teased in a previous community update, the Tactical class will receive a major rework to support more versatile playstyles. His perk tree in particular will be more diverse and will allow for more creativity in the build. A frequent request was to expand his melee arsenal, and now be possible to equip a power sword, power axe, or the one-handed thunderhammer at the expense of his primary weapon for a melee build. Okay, that is cool. So we're effectively doubling the total melee weapons on this class, actually over doubling, and we're also having some new perk interactions where you can give up your secondary. That's a really cool thing in the game. Maybe we'll see stuff like this for the heavy at some point in time. Or if you take like a heavy bolt rifle, you can just swap out your, you can also take a combat knife or something like that. This is really cool. I was not expecting this, and they mentioned stuff like this a while back in like a way further, back in November for a community update, that they would have some crazy stuff planned for the tactical. This is a really cool feature, so I'm sure this will be pretty popular for a lot of players. And the power axe and power sword, we have multiple heroics for all of these. And it's also going to be a one-handed Thunderhammer heroic coming out this patch as well as a power maul, so that's pretty cool. Next to say, if you are more into distant fights, a class perk will allow you to replace your secondary weapon with a primary bolt rifle. So we saw a previous leak for this, so this might give you a grenade launcher as a secondary. That would make this like the best perk on the class overall, but we still haven't seen the official perk tree. And if you are curious about all the leaked perks coming for this class, I do have multiple videos on that will link in the description somewhere. Now, next we have something we should have done a long time ago. A few community updates ago, we told you that we're working on something we should have done a long time ago. The something in this question being the cape recolor. Take a first look. So we're just going to play this if we can here real quick. Hold on, can I put it in the other window? I guess not, but whatever. The point is, you can now recolor your capes. That's pretty fucking cool if you ask me. And this is something people have wanted for ages, and we have a ton of cape colors here. And also like to properly rep things like veterans, Astartes, and stuff like that. So I'm sure this will be a very sought after piece of addition. And also, there is going to be capes on bulwarks pretty soon, so just keep that in mind. The bulwark will have capes in year 3. They have confirmed that. It will not be coming out in patch 15 here. However, you will have access to that further down the road, and there will be a 3rd war gear slot as well, so pretty cool. Next, they have 2nd anniversary update. First of all, we would like to say thank you for these 2 incredible years of Space Marine 2 and for your continued support throughout this journey. The enthusiasm you've shown for the game and its updates continues to motivate us to keep bringing new content experiences to the battle. And also, as we reach this 2-year milestone, we're excited to share the 2nd anniversary update will arrive in early October. Okay, so it sounds like the patch has been delayed a bit here. Previously, they said that we would have the patch in September, so this will not be this upcoming month here in September. It's going to be in October, which is a pretty big pushback, to be honest. But, we had the Tech Green update also get pushed back a bit, so that does make a bit of sense. Next, I say that's not all. Season Pass 3 will also be available on the same day, bringing even more content for you to discover, following the same formula as for year 2 and year 1. We're really excited about what's coming, and we hope you'll be excited as us to join us for another year of Space Marine 2. And as a little token of appreciation, we can confirm that yes, you will have your Greatsword in year 3. So Greatsword confirmed, guys. We are getting a one-handed Thunderhammer and a Greatsword, and this kind of makes it sound like maybe that new class will in fact be a Justiciar. I mean, that might be the case because those guys do have Greatswords, or maybe Chaplains are going to get Greatswords in the 11th edition Codex. But that's a pretty big piece of news. They've confirmed that we have a Greatsword. I mean, people were treating this as confirmed before anyways, but the kind of recap here, we're having Power Sword, Power Axe, One-Hand Thunderhammer on the Tactical. The One-Hand Thunderhammer itself will be on the TAC, Assault, Bulwark, and Tech Marine class, and we're also going to be getting a brand new melee weapon on top of that later in the year, and cape recolors. And we also have an ongoing community event here for completing 3 Chaos missions on Reliquary, Fall Atreus, Obelisk, Vortex, Disruption, or Purgation to earn 100 accolades and 150 requisition points. So that is a pretty big thing for the game, guys. I mean, let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. How do you feel about having a Greatsword in year 3? We didn't get the reveal of the new class, however, because they have confirmed that this anniversary update will be arriving in early October. That just tells me the next community update at the end of October will give us like the full roadmap for year 3. You're planning to get all the reveals for the new heroics that are coming this patch because those are confirmed, and I think that's going to be where we're going to see the biggest reveals for year 3. But so far, this tells us a lot more about the upcoming patch 15 and what we can expect from year 3 in the future. And the final thing I have to say here is grateful for the modding community. We're grateful to see how much excitement the launch of the Steam Workshop has brought to the modding community of Space Marine 2. Since the launch of the modding tool, we've seen an amazing amount of creativity from you with new ideas and creations popping up. Some of them have definitely made us smile, so a big thank you to everyone contributing to the modding scene. It's great to see you finding new ways to play around Space Marine 2 and keeping the community buzzing with new creations. Keep them coming. And if you're interested in creating mods, you can check our guidelines here or browse the Steam Workshop to check the availability. So as an added thing here, mods are confirmed for console, and also the game director Dmitry Grigorenko. He does work pretty closely like with the modding scene, and they're actually pretty helpful with that. So some people shit on Saber a lot, but Saber actually gives the modders a ton of tools in this game, and they've really helped out with some of those modding options, some of the cooler things like the Astartes overhaul. And like shout out to Killer Whaley, because he did reach out to me at one point and asked me to cover the Astartes overhaul. It's a pretty great mod that will probably be coming to console pretty soon. Now, final thing here is thank you for supporting us and helping us to improve Space Marine 2. In the next community update, we'll reveal the full Year 3 roadmap. There it is, followed by a Q&A session with our game director on Reddit. So make sure to follow us on our social media channels to get the news on X, Facebook, Threads, and Blue Sky. The Emperor protects the Saber and Focus team. So that is everything we have in this community update. This is mainly for patch 15. We have the confirmation that this is effectively delayed to October, so that might be disappointing to some people, but that's when we can expect the big roadmap reveal, because if we didn't get it here, naturally they said it's going to be there. And that is all I have to say in this one, guys. Let me know what you think about the upcoming patch 15, the new game mode, the new class unlocks with stuff like the Power Sword and the Power Axe on the tactical class, and also the option to have the one-handed Thunderhammer on the Assault Bulwark and Tech Marine attack, and the Chaos Siege mode having only Tyranids and Loyalist waves as a confirmation, which means we're probably going to get a Loyalist boss as well that might see in the next community update. But that's all to say here. If you like content like this, subscribe for more. If you want to cast me lines, ask me questions about the game or it's just coming out, you can find me here on YouTube or on Twitch with a link in the video description, and also a link to my community Discord. And I also want to say a special thank you to my channel members. Your guys' support helps me make content every single day, and as always, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Bye.